Welcome, low ego action heroes and phoenixes. I'm Debbie Levitt from dcx, and you can join our community and find all the links at dcx.to. It is Wednesday, so I am here for the usual Ask Me Anything, which you can ask me anything, work, life, whatever it might be. We'll start doing these twice a month instead of every week. Normally, in the second Tuesday, we've got Dr. Nick with us, but he had to swap out for our show later this month. So it is just me today. If you have any questions or topics you would like to discuss or get an opinion, feedback, whatever it might be, mentoring, coaching, that's what this time is for. You can ask in the chat and it'll pop up on the screen. So make sure you want it popping up on the screen. If you want to send something anonymous, you can send it to dcx.to/q. Sorry, I think my eye looks a little funny. Sorry about that. I don't know if that's my actual eye or my camera filter eye, but anyway, hello. Usually I hang around for 10 minutes. If anybody has a question, we will answer that question or discuss that topic. Hi, Ana Lucia. If nobody has a topic, that's okay too. And we can always wrap up and throw the video away. So, whatever works for everybody else. I didn't get any questions ahead of time. Normally, if people send questions in ahead of time to dcx.to/q, I save them for the Wednesday show and then we can take a look at them. But I don't have any questions ahead of time either. So we'll see. We've got 7 more minutes and see if anybody has questions or discussion topics. But as always, totally optional. And my dog is woofing. I don't know if people can hear it or not. Lots of woof excitement outside. Olivia, why are you woofing? Yeah, not too sure what else to say other than welcome. And do you have a question? Have you tried your skill with Sonnet 5? I'm not enjoying that model, even for basic things, and now I'm expecting the worst. That is a great question, and I have not. I'm also about to record a video version of my course, and I'm thinking I might want to do it with Sonnet 4.6 just out of concern as for how Sonnet 5 would do it. I think if I did it with Sonnet 5, I don't think I could get away with low effort. It seems like Sonnet 5's low effort is so low it feels like haiku. So I think if I did it with Sonnet 5, I would have to go more high effort. But no, I haven't tested that yet. And at some point, I will need to. I will put that on the to do list. Test skill with Sonnet 5. Yeah. So I'm also not expecting much. So I would probably end up trying the higher effort. Yeah. Sonnet 5 has medium as a predefined setting. It feels worse than 4.6 on low. Okay, I believe you, Ana Lucia. We've been talking about this in my Discord community. It's free to join the Discord. Come check it out. I'm only using Sonnet 5 in one chat right now, and it's my calorie counting and weight loss chat. And I switched to Sonnet 5 because when I switched to Sonnet 4.6, it kept warning me that I might have an eating disorder. But that also, the warning comes with a message that there is a high false positive rate and that most people probably don't have an eating disorder. And I was like, well, this is a mess. And I wasn't getting that with Sonnet 4.5 or 4.0 because I've been doing the calorie counting with Claude for over a year now. But all of a sudden, Sonnet 4.6 keeps warning that I have an eating disorder, though it'll also tell me I have no symptoms of one. So I just figured, well, let me see if Sonnet 5 has been better fine tuned, because if they know they have a high false positive rate, maybe they've fixed that in Sonnet 5 and I won't get those warnings. I haven't gotten them yet, but I've also found that Claude just seems very unintelligent, at least, and I haven't tested it much, Sonnet 5, that is. Outside of the calorie chat, but the calorie chat is set to low effort and it's surprisingly bad. All it has to do is write down the calories. Yesterday I said, okay, I had four of these and this much beef, and here you go. It guessed how many calories the beef had, even though I'd previously told it the calories per gram of the beef. So it made up a number that ended up being wrong. And after it said, okay, your lunch is this many calories, I'll track that as shrimp salad. And I was like, why would you track it as shrimp salad? I'm eating culujones and beef. And then it was like, oh, yeah, I should probably pay more attention to what you're writing. And I'm like, look, this is probably the easiest chat you're having around the entire world right now, where I just tell you what I'm eating and you just give me a running count during the day so I can stay under my preferred calorie number for weight maintenance or loss. I'm not sure it gets easier than this. There's no critical thinking, there's no problem solving, there's no deduction, there's no branching logic. Like, what's going on here? Because it really doesn't get easier than this and you're doing badly with it. So and today I said, oh, I'm making a dish and it's got this much eggplant and this much cucumber, and it was like, well, the eggplant and cucumber are typically low calories, I won't count them. And I was like, this is the calorie counting chat. You do not skip something just because it is a lower calorie food. Can you please calculate the calories in these foods? I mean, it really doesn't get easier than this. So I don't know if it's something they've baked into low effort, but this low effort is really, really bad. I would almost say worse than haiku. So I don't know. Maybe I need to bring my calorie counting chat into haiku because it is simple. It is uh uh no critical thinking, no branch logic. I don't know. Maybe I need to try bringing it into haiku. I don't know what version they're up to for now. Oh, we're getting an anonymous question. Hold on. Let me take a look at what that says. Okay. Okay. This is a great question. Thank you to the person who is asking it. Let's put this up on the screen. Hold on. Got to get all my copy paste things cooking. And then let's put this up. Press the button that says 5. Okay, here we go. The anonymous question says, do you have any strategies for dealing with financial uncertainty while trying to remain productive and creative? So, the thing that I don't know from the person who asked this question is what they mean by productive and creative. Like, I'm assuming, I'm assuming here, I'm not totally sure. I'm wondering if they mean outside of their job or while they're not working. How do you stay productive and creative? Maybe if you're not working and money is tight. That is my guess. That's how I'm taking this question. But go ahead and send in another anonymous question and let me know if I'm missing some important context here that would help me answer it better. And Ana Lucia has a follow up question about Claude. We'll look at that one after we wrangle this question. So um, I will start answering this one. Um, okay. Uh, I'll start answering what I think is going on in this question, but obviously, if this person disagrees, please write in and say, no, no, that's not what I meant. What's going on with B enterprise product design jobs? Alexandra, I'll put your question on the list. You're now third, but I have to admit, I'm not sure what you mean. What are you seeing going on, Alexandra? Put that in the chat and then we can react to it. I need more context because what's going on is a very broad question. Where, which, what do you mean? What are you seeing? Okay, so sticking with the question we have right now, do you have any strategies for dealing with financial uncertainty while trying to remain productive and creative? And my guess is this is someone who is not working and is still trying to keep things going and feel like they're getting things done and be more creative. So there's a couple of things that I've been recommending. One is to make a budget because when finances get uncertain, I think as tough and painful as it can be, it's a good time to look at your budget. How much are you spending each month on things? Is there anything that can reasonably be cut without uh, uh, feeling deprived or anything? Okay, Alexandra's added some notes. We'll add that when we get to that question. There's a couple before you, but thank you. Um, so I think number one, it's important to take a look at your budget. So when I felt this way in 2024, when I was writing Life After Tech, and by the way, if you haven't read Life After Tech, anonymous question person, this was written for you. I hope you'll take a look at it. Um, and so budgeting, I think, is important because sometimes we realize, oh, I'm paying for that subscription. Oh, I don't want that anymore. Oh, I've got that annual fee from that company. No, I don't need that anymore. Oh, I'm paying that. Oh, let's downgrade that. And again, that doesn't mean I'm telling you never do anything nice, don't have any fun. I'm not one of those people who says that when there's financial uncertainty or money is tight, cut everything because I think that makes people feel too deprived and can spiral into negativity. So to me, it's about finding that balance. What do you feel like you want to pay for? What do you feel like you can pay for? And what do you feel like you can cut? When I did this in 2024, I was able to cut thousands of dollars a year of things where when I took an honest second look at it, I was like, I'm not sure I'd miss that too much. Let's get rid of it. Let's downgrade it. If I miss it that much, I can always sign up again or turn it back on. But, let's. It's too important to save that money right now. So, having a budget and taking a fresh look at things, and we have a budgeting spreadsheet in the Life After Tech book. I think that can help just so you understand what am I spending each month and what do I need to spend, what do I want to spend, and what do I want to reduce or eliminate. And those choices are yours. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just going to give you some general ideas here. Next, when we think about productive and creative, my coaching question back to you would be how do you define those? How do you define productive? What are you trying to get done that you feel like you're not getting done or it's blocked or slowed or something like that? Again, can't help but recommend Life After Tech on this one. I don't know why everything's a little blurry today. But or of course my coaching life coaching can help with this one as well, and I offer that for very very low prices. And if it's not low enough, write to me and tell me what you can afford. I can always make you a coupon, but it's all linked from dcx.to. So without you paying for coaching, let's still take a coaching approach here. What does productive mean to you? What does creative mean to you? What are the hobbies or creative things that you can do that don't cost as much or are within your budget? Because ultimately you will make a budget and you will take a look at what you want to spend for things. For example, my husband and I would like to play more tennis. We already own rackets, we already own tennis balls. What does it cost us to go play tennis? Whatever it costs to rent a tennis court for an hour. We're not too sure what that number is, but once we know, we can decide how does that fit into our budget. Do we want to do that once a month, twice a month, every week? We don't know. We have to take a look at how it fits into our budget. We might decide it's unaffordable and we're not going to do it at all. So we don't even know. I got a new water flavor packet. Not sponsored, but it's horchata. I'm so excited. Yum. So I believe that especially when the more things are tough and confusing and emotionally difficult and stressful, the more I want to see people lean into their creativity. Sorry, I have a fan on, and it's blowing my own hair into my face. Um, I want to see people lean into creativity more. And so the question is, what can you do that's in your budget? It may or may not be cheap or inexpensive. It just has to fit into your budget for whatever that is. For because everybody's financial uncertainty is different from one person to the next. So I remember in a financially uncertain time of my life, I was trying to decide between an apartment that was, this is a long time ago, $900 a month and $800 a month. And in the end, even though times were tough and there were things I needed to reduce, I thought the $900 apartment was much nicer and in a better neighborhood, and I chose that. So even when there is financial uncertainty, there are going to be trade-offs that we make. We might spend more on one thing and we might spend less on something else, and again, it just has to work for you. So what can you do to be creative that can cost you either little money or no money or just fit into your budget? For me lately, in case this helps, I've decided to go more in on my music. Some people know that my original bachelor's degree was in music. I am a singer and a musician and an audio engineer and so on. And I decided to start another YouTube channel called Vocal Coach Debbie. And I'll be doing a stream tonight in case, no, yeah, it's Wednesday. Yeah, I'll be doing a stream tonight in case anyone's curious. But it costs me nothing to stream and talk about a music topic that interests me. And some of my videos have 6 views, and I think that's cool. And some of my videos have 300 views, and I think that's cool. And it's me just expressing myself. And I get to be and feel creative. And if it resonates with someone and they press like and they leave a comment and they subscribe or whatever, cool. And if they don't like it and they don't come back and they press thumbs down, cool. But it's allowing me to have a new creative outlet that costs basically nothing other than my time. The person has sent a follow up. Thank you. It just came into my email, and I'm going to put it in my show notes. That'll go into the YouTube description, and I'll add it on the screen. So let's see what this person has said. Paste. Here we go. So the additional context we just got was: dealing with financial uncertainty tends to make me feel out of control and in survival mode. It's not a good place to be mentally. It makes it hard to take risks outside of work to get ahead, but that's what's required to change the circumstances. Oh, holy cats, I just wrote an article about this. I don't know if you read my Medium articles. Again, link to Medium at dcx.to, but I just wrote an article about how both too much fear and too much hope can sometimes lead us to not take action and not change our circumstances, and to try to wrangle both the fear or the hope, or sometimes misguided hope. So, feel out of control and in survival mode. And I think there are many of us right now who do feel like we are in survival mode or pretty close to it, that we are looking very carefully at numbers each month. What are we spending? What are we doing? What are we not doing? What can we cut? And I think that I think survival mode can certainly create a lot of fear. So the question for you, in a bit of a coaching mode, is what do you find tends to help you with fear? For me, sometimes feeling organized and like I've planned things well helps me with fear. I can say, okay, look, this is scary. Money's not coming in the way it used to, or I might lose my job soon. And some of these things feel out of my control, but I'm a planner. I'm organized. I'm strategic. Let me try to get ahead of this before things end up bad or desperate or whatever. Let me try to get ahead of this. Let's take another look at that budget. And that's when I made that list of all the things that I've been subscribing to monthly, annually, and I found so much that was in some cases I wasn't even using or I forgot I was paying for. And I did it by going through a year of credit card charges to see who am I paying on a monthly or annual basis. So it was work. And I guess you could put it into Claude now, but I did it manually in 2024. So, so the question is to work on that mental state. What can you do that will let you put your oxygen mask on, find ways to recharge, and find things that bring uh, moments of relief and joy and satisfaction in your life? When I lived in the San Francisco area, I used to go out on my motorcycle and ride for an hour or two with no destination in mind. What did that cost me? Gallon of gas. You know, that wasn't so bad. Now I've got a bicycle, so sometimes I'll say, you know what, I'm gonna go out for a bicycle ride. I'm just gonna, and then I have a little holder on my bike for my phone. I put on an album I like, and I sing out loud, sing because I'm a singer, sing my heart out. People in the village look at me like I have seven heads, and I don't care. I'm enjoying myself. I am feeling creative and musical, and I'm out. It costs usually little or nothing to go outside. Go outside and take a walk. Go outside and ride a bicycle if you have it. Go outside and ride an electric kick scooter if you have it, or a manual kick scooter, or put on roller skates, or just take a walk. And I think it's going to be about each person finding what helps them relax and recharge and kind of take a break from the things on your mind. And that's where I think leaning into more creativity is going to help. Can you get clay? Can you get some paints? Can you draw on a tablet so that you don't need as many markers, crayons, paints? You draw on a tablet, then you draw something else on the tablet. So yeah, I think hard to take risks outside of work to get ahead. But that's the interesting thing. If you have work, you're in a much better place than so many other people. Now, again, that's not going to make you feel better. I understand that. But if you do have work and you do have money coming in, you actually are in a better place to take those risks. If someone doesn't have a job and the money's not coming in, they're definitely going to feel like they can't take risks outside of work because those risks might cost or lose money. If you still have work and you do have an income coming in, at least for now, then I would say before you take that risk, plan the shit out of it. And if you need help, contact me, or write something in the Discord community. Plan the hell out of it. Let's take a look at what's the probability of this risk paying off a little, paying off a lot, or just being worth the money or time that's spent. What about inexpensive experiments? I've got an article on that on Medium. You can probably find it if you search for Debbie Levitt Medium inexpensive experiments. All my Medium articles are free; they're not behind the paywall. So yeah, I think, and you already know that you're going to have to take some risks. Planting seeds. This is what this book is about. Planting seeds, trying new things, small experiments. Get out there. I think some of you know that my husband and I are trying to be karaoke DJs on the side. We recently got our first gig from someone who found us in a Google search. What does that cost me? Nothing. They found us. We now have a second gig from someone who found us in a Google search. This is starting to be a thing. Okay, it's just two this whole year, but that's a start because a few months ago it was zero. And what does it cost me to put up a website or buy, what have I spent money on here? A domain name. We made business cards. I used to have them at my desk. I don't know where I cleaned my desk. Now I don't know where they are. Um, but some of you have seen them with the panda on them. So what does it cost you to put up a web page that says, "Hey, I do a thing"? What does it cost you to put something up for sale on Etsy? What is it? So again, I don't know what your circumstances are, but I do believe that it's sometimes easier to take risks when you still have the job and you have the money coming in and you've done a lot of planning and planting seeds so that it is a calculated risk rather than, oh, hey, I have an idea. I'm going to go spend. I think some of us in the Discord community saw a person I won't name post to LinkedIn recently. Hey, you're welcome. Post to LinkedIn some months ago saying, "Oh, I just wasted $20,000 I don't have on a bad business idea because ChatGPT was, you know, covering me in butter." And my thought was, that's really bad because while I'm not against somebody spending $20,000 on something if you have it to spend, this sounds like it was not well planned. The risk was not correctly assessed. The good proper research or investigation was not done. This just sounded really misguided, and I guess this person thought that was content. So, to the person who wrote in, I hope this has given you some things to think about. The Discord community is free. I hope that can help you. I also do coaching for most people signed up for a 45-minute session. If it's a life coaching side, I'm charging 30 euros for 45 minutes. If it's the work and entrepreneurship coaching, I think I'm charging about 52 euros for 45 minutes. And the dollar is a dollar 14 in case you're in America. If these numbers are too high, let me know, and we'll make you a discount code. So thank you for that. Let's get over to Ana Lucia's question. But if anyone has a follow up question to that, even if you didn't ask the original question, go ahead and ask your follow up question. So we've got Ana Lucia and then we have Alexandra. So Ana Lucia says, "Have you considered the possibility of Claude getting too expensive or useless for your needs? What criteria would you use to know it's time to move on?" Yeah, I mean, to me, it's kind of the same thing I said before I got into Claude that I used to say in like 2023 and 2024. Like, if AI is not helping me, if it's not making my work better, if it's not making my life better, however I'm using it, if it's not making these things better, then I either don't want to use that tool or I need to find a different tool. Who would I move to is a very difficult question because I don't want to work with OpenAI. I don't want to work with Grok. I already get Gemini with my Google Workspace account, but so far I have not been impressed by it. I think Notebook LM comes with my Workspace account, but I haven't been impressed by it. I know some people who mostly use Gemini because it's free and it came with their Gmail or Google Workspace, but I don't love Gemini. So I'm not even sure what I would move to. I would probably just end up using Claude less and maybe not paying for it. But right now I'm still paying for a pro account. But I would say if Claude were not um if it were getting worse in some way, if it's in shitified, I would probably just use it less because I'm highly confident in my ability to do things the old way. Um, so yeah, I don't think I have a great answer for that because I don't feel like there are a lot of good alternatives right now. So there you go. Alexandra, hope you're still here. We finally will look at your question, which was, what's going on with B2B enterprise product design jobs? Where's the demand? It has been quiet and slow. Yes, not new. Not new, and in my opinion, unlikely to turn around. These are jobs that have, I think, been on the decrease for a long time. Between product managers saying, "Hey, I can design this," or even people in marketing or sometimes engineering saying, "Hey, I can design this," and now AI tools from Figma to Miro to Claude to Canva and other things where people say, we don't need these designers. We can just make this ourselves. We'll just ask Claude to design it, or Figma. And so I don't expect the demand for design jobs to bounce back. I expect it to continue to be cannibalized both by AI and LLMs and those types of tools, as well as the humans who don't appreciate what a good designer can do and think that they can do the job, do the work as well as you can, when I know they can't. But people would like to believe that design is easy and they can do it, especially with an AI helping them. So why hire Alexandra or anybody in particular? Obviously, I disagree with this. I believe that these should. Okay, sorry about that. It should be coming back now. I just had an internet blip. I don't know if some of the streams are restarting. But sorry about that. And that was my fancy, expensive internet blipping. So who knows what to do anymore about anything. Um, can people still see and hear me? Yeah, it looks like my internet is back. Sorry again about that. Lucia says, I think it's likely they'll change their pricing. If it gets to the point where they charge for tokens for all people, I really wonder how useful it can be before it gets expensive. Hiring someone ends up being the best solution. Yeah, I think that's hard because in addition to seeing fewer jobs, we're also seeing jobs, even ones that get laid off and then magically reappear, they tend to pay less. So there's definitely a downward slide in most countries, in most industries, where they're paying less and less. So even if somebody said, gee, we don't think AI can design as well as a human, will they still give it to a qualified product designer? Or will they give it to a product manager who says, I can do this? We don't need these designers. They're just going to slow us down. I can do this. And then if we have uh, real designers getting design jobs, what will that pay look like? Because in many cases, the pay has been going down. So I think we can't just wait and see. We can't just hope that something better is coming. I'm concerned that even if there is a little, I predicted in a Medium article from some months ago that there will be a little blip in rehiring when uh, when AI becomes too expensive or isn't doing the work well enough. But I don't think that's going to be a significant rehiring. I don't think it's going to be a long term rehiring. And I don't think it's going to be a well paid rehiring. We even saw recently with that car company that had fired some of its most knowledgeable and seasoned veteran workers. They laid off their best workers. Then they found that their AI couldn't do the job as well. Now they're saying they're going to rehire some or all of those people or will open up some of those jobs. But they've also made it sound like that's just temporary until those people can train or retrain the AI to emulate those experts. So I think it's hard to predict. And my thought is, even if you want to keep working in tech, even if you have hope that our jobs are coming back, even if you feel confident that this work is going to carry you to retirement, read Life After Tech anyway. It's for you. I don't know why it's so blurry today. Read Life After Tech. It's for you. And think about planning and planting seeds for something else. Maybe it's a side business. Maybe it's something you plan and never do. Maybe it's something you plan and jump into if you do get laid off. Why not plan and plant seeds? I'm amazed at how many people tell me they don't want to plan or plant seeds. They don't want to think about other types of work or starting their own business. And I think that we need to have a plan B. In case of emergency, break glass. Ana Lucia says, I still say AI is far from being able to do everything a CEO believes it can. Yes, but that doesn't seem to change the idea that people want to replace humans with AI. AI is designed to replace humans, and it's already replacing some people and some tasks. And they're just going to keep making it better until it can replace more people and more tasks. We can't assume that we've seen the best of AI and that from here it's just downhill, or from here it's never going to get better. These types of things make no sense. When Jared Spool said that last year, it was absolutely bizarre that he thought that we've seen the best of AI and it's not going to get better. So yeah, of course, it's going to keep changing and improving. Will it be affordable? I don't know. Will it truly completely take our jobs? Some of them? I think it really depends on what people do. We know writers and editors and copywriters are struggling now as well because people think AI can write this. Can AI write as well as a person? I don't think so. But someone's going to say, it's good enough. Okay. Can AI do art and creative things as well as a human? I don't think so. But someone might say, that's good enough. That art is fine. I'm going to post it on my LinkedIn post. I'm going to use it on my website. I'm going to put it on a t-shirt, even if it's AI slop. I'm going to make it my logo. You can do all of these things. And people are just going to disagree on the quality of these things. But these are the things I'm predicting. We also have to remember, because the original question here was about B2B enterprise jobs. This reminds me of the thing Ana Lucia shared in the Discord community. I think it was the link to the calculation that somebody put online, which was, as people get laid off, you have fewer people working in the enterprise. That will reduce the need for enterprise licenses. So if you make something that another company uses and licenses, like a tool like Figma, the more people get laid off, the fewer people need a license to Figma. If you have fewer people working in tech and corporate jobs, then this is a system that keeps cannibalizing itself, because you would say, well, I want to go do more design in B2B and enterprise. That is a shrinking number of people due to the layoffs, which means it ends up with a cycle of more shrinking. I don't think I have the graphic here to put up on the screen. Coaching, guy, lightning, fire, confetti, flight plan. No, I don't have the graphic in my system ready to go. But I did make this for fun. Good evening. Here's the news. How's that? Does that look good? um, I had a graphic from my Levitt Loop article, which you can find on Medium, just talking about the spirals of how the more people get laid off, the fewer people there are going to be to use B2B and enterprise systems, which is just going to lead to more layoffs because now these companies can't sell as many licenses and they won't have money and they'll think they have to lay people off. But what I say in my Levitt Loop article is that I believe it's then going to lead to people caring more about quality and ROI. You won't use the crappy, terrible system that you're overpaying for. You'll say, we don't have the budget. We don't have the budget to overpay for this crappy, terrible system. We're going to have to downgrade or use fewer licenses or painfully switch to the other tool that's better. Even if it costs more, people are going to say, I need to use the best tool to get my work done. So it's a little counterintuitive because some people say, well, in economics, when you have people laid off and there's things are spiraling down, then companies are going to spend less money and they'll settle for less quality because they'll just want the cheaper thing. But I believe that we're going to see people expecting um, better quality, not expecting lower quality. Lucia says B2C is also going in the same direction because people will have to think several times about the budget, subscriptions, probably ending them and keeping the bare minimum. Yeah, that's part of my Levitt Loop article as well, where I think that people are going to judge by quality. You're going to say you're judging by quality and return on investment. Like if in 2024, when we were cutting and canceling lots of things, we were like Disney Plus, we liked some of those shows, but we're not getting the enjoyment out of it that we used to. We don't think the quality of the shows is as good as it used to be. Let's cancel Disney Plus. We replaced it with nothing, I don't think. Um, Not that I'm paying for. And so that was a question of quality and return on investment. And I think companies and individuals are going to look at that more closely and say, these are my standards. And do I want to spend money when the product or service or company doesn't meet those standards, especially if there is a competitor? If there is an alternative, even if that alternative is vibe coding your own thing, if there is an alternative, you will be looking at it. And that's the thing that I keep reminding people is like, if I have a Claude account, even for $200 a year, if I can build a lot of my own skills and tools and stuff, that's going to be other systems I don't need to pay for because Claude will do it. So Claude can cannibalize all kinds of things. I was even saying recently, like, it would be so interesting if Claude could basically build me Google Workspace and I wouldn't have to deal with Google and think about Google and worry about Google and all that stuff and just get my email and my calendar, the way I want it. Ana Lucia says, it's funny that these show subscriptions really believe people will keep paying. They're raising their prices and there are more and more competitors. And have you noticed what's happening? People are unsubscribing and going the pirate way again. Yeah, not only that, with pirating, but we even have people who are creating shows and movies and whatever that just live on YouTube or TikTok and they make money from the ad revenue or sponsorships. Like it's a whole other revenue model. We've got an anonymous question. Here we go. Okay. Let me put it up on the screen. It'll probably be our last question for today. And then I'm going to be setting up for a call and then jumping straight into my music stream later on. Don't forget to follow me both at Delta CX Hive and at Vocal Coach Debbie, available on both YouTube and Twitch. Okay, here is what someone says. I am planning to pivot from UX research and design, 4 years of experience, to become an AI machine learning engineer. Is restarting my career from scratch in a different field worth it or career suicide? Will companies hire me as a junior? So, the cool answer for this one is this just in, our top story tonight. You can figure this out for yourself. So, here's how you know you can go to LinkedIn, Indeed, Total Jobs, whatever is a decent job board for wherever you live or might work. Take a look at AI and ML engineering jobs. What do they expect? Are there any jobs that are looking for recent graduates or people who are newer to this or someone coming in at a junior level. You'll be able to see, do these jobs exist? What do they expect you to be able to do? Will you be able to do that after whatever program or course or degree you're thinking of taking? And you'll be able to know if this is a good idea. My personal opinion, and I'm certainly no expert on AI ML jobs, so this is definitely going to be an opinion and not something coming from extensive knowledge of that particular job market. But from what I've been seeing when I look at LinkedIn, which is getting less and less, it seems like those jobs are heavily on the decline, the junior jobs. People do want seniors in those positions. They want X years of experience and a proven track record and all that stuff. It looks like a lot of companies right now, generally, now not nobody, but many companies don't seem to want interns, newbies, career transitioners, and things like that. But again, you can determine that for yourself by doing some searches into jobs and seeing how many newbie, junior, career transitioner jobs are there out there and how much experience do they expect you to have, and does the course you're thinking of taking or the degree you're thinking of taking, does that count as that experience? If you're looking at a course or a degree, does it come with any sort of job help at the end? Some of these places give you nothing and it's good luck to you. Some of these places say, hey, after our 2 year master's degree, we have relationships with this company, and we try to get our graduates into jobs there. So it's not guaranteed, but there at least seems to be a path. But if it is a course or a degree, you're probably talking about something that is 6 months to 2 years away. And it's hard to know what's going to happen by then. I also think about how I think Anthropic recently announced that X percent, it was like 30, 40, 50, 60% of Claude is now being written by Claude. And so I think a lot of companies are not looking for juniors. So I would be recommending Life After Tech also for you. I don't know why this is blurry today. Life After Tech also for you. Ana Lucia says in Portugal, nothing. Juniors without experience? Nope, nope, nope. The market is flooded here. Only engineers with experience are hired. And that's what I would expect. I don't think people want newbies. I don't think people want untested people. I don't think people want people who are still learning. That seems to be very rare. Does it exist? It might. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think you run the risk that you will spend money and time on a course or a degree only to find that jobs don't care about the course or the degree, and they really want people who've been doing this since 2023. So I would say do your own research. You're a researcher. Researcher, heal thyself. Go check out what job boards are showing and what it looks like is out there, and see if it looks like there is an opportunity for you to break in, and how likely is that. This is where we talk about risks and calculated risks. If you just go, you know what, this will probably work out, I'm going to spend the time, I'm going to spend the money, I'm just going to go do this, that is a risk, but it's not very well calculated. It's not very well planned. You might have planned which course you want to take, but have you looked at the whole picture of the job market and where those jobs are and how much experience they expect you to have? Because I remember people freaking out in UX 10 years ago when a lot of companies started expecting interns to have a year of experience. That's when they started shutting the door. How can an internship is supposed to get you the experience? How do it's that catch 22. Ana Lucia says, not to mention you will have to consider how the market will look in 2030. Yeah. How will the market look in a few years, especially if AI keeps writing itself and They just want the most senior engineers. Meanwhile, that car company just laid off all their most senior engineers, thinking AI can emulate them. So, yeah, unfortunately, the news is not good news. I don't have good news for anybody. I don't have I'm not going to give you hope bait and go, well, just hold on. It's just around the corner. Just redo your resume again. Just take some more courses. Just upskill. Just learn to adapt, which is the least actionable advice I've heard in years. Learn to adapt. What does that even mean? Just upskill. In what? A few years ago, it was become a prompt engineer. Now nobody needs to do that. We don't use prompts the same way. Ana Lucia says if it's a new degree, it'll take years. How will the market look then? Worse, better? We don't know. That's right. We can only look at what's going on now and say, that's what people with jobs say. We can only take a look now. How many companies have open jobs for interns and juniors, newbies, career transitioners? How much experience do they expect you to have and what kind of experience? And will you have that? So you can answer this for you. I don't know, but my guess would be that it is not likely to work out and could be a waste of time and money. I would be saying, come join us in the Life After Tech multiverse. Okay, thank you for that question. I don't see any more anonymous questions or questions in the chat. I can hang around a few more minutes if people want. Otherwise, we can wrap up for today. I'll do the Ask Me Anything show every other week starting today. So I'll be back in 2 weeks on Wednesday. That one will have Dr. Nick. Usually the second Wednesday of the month has Dr. Nick. He couldn't make it today, so he'll be with us towards the end of the month. But other than that, he's usually second Wednesday of the month. Sorry. Let me know if anyone is typing a question. Speak now, so I know that it's coming. Otherwise, I will start the show ending music called "Quit Forever" by Toe Hider, one of my favorites. And the song asks a good question: is it better to quit forever? And I think it's a song that has lots of feels. So, yeah, we'll wrap up for today. Thanks for everybody, all of your great questions and topics. I hope it was helpful. Hope to see you in the Discord community or maybe getting some coaching from me. Hope I'll catch you on my music streams because I am really excited about those and just want to help people however I can. So we'll wrap up for today and I'll see you soon. Thanks.